How's everyone doing today? Select here, bringing you the first episode of the Monster Energy Supercross, the game 3 career mode playthrough. I have played the game a little bit, but really I'm just kind of very rusty. Haven't played this as much as I want to. I've played like 3 races. I haven't even edited most of the audio settings, so we're just hopping into this right away. I don't know, I want to do a bike setup. Apparently it starts you on very easy on career mode, so we'll have to change that later, and then we'll also have to change the settings here. Oh, it's on. It's a bunch of settings I don't even like here. Let me do this real quick. Alright, and we are back. Just had to change a couple audio settings. Don't want to have to listen to that. Okay, so apparently the game starts you off on very easy, and it gives you these like rhythm lane lines, but that's okay. We'll bear through it for this first race. From what I know from watching a couple videos, this first race is really just a just to kind of see how good you are, almost like a qualifying race, if you will, and then you can get some contracts with top teams. I'm not going to jump into a top team right away. I want to go through a full experience. I'm probably going to put it on realistic, but I don't know because I tried riding the 450s on realistic and I was not very good, so I honestly might go hard for 250s just because I'm gonna have no parts in my bike, and I mean, if I crash, I'm probably never gonna catch up. I'm not that great at these games, but I do want to struggle. I don't want to be out the gate winning right away, so we'll make it difficult for me. So I believe this race is just a 4.5-5 minute race that you got to go through. Start off the career mode, or decent start here, 5th off the first lap. Oh, and then I completely bottled it there. That's not good. It doesn't let you edit any of the options either, so I believe I have manual shifting on, but it has it to where it shifts up no matter what. So like it's manual and automatic at the same time, and then there's the rhythm line. I don't know, they have all the assists on this first race, which is kind of annoying, but just gotta bear through it. Nice pass for second, and we're trying to get the lead from Catherine Hill. So they do let you ride as females in this game, which I believe is new. I didn't play 2, I wouldn't know, but I'm fairly certain that's a new option. And then there's not much else I remember. Just talk about my rider. I picked 129. 29 is not a favorite number of mine, but it's always been available, and it was available in 1 because Andrew Short had retired the year before and no one picked it as their career number, so I picked that one in that game. But the 29 was picked for this game, so I just went 129. And then I went on the KTM because KTM's always been my favorite bike. Even if it's not the fastest, it's always been a favorite of mine. KTM, and then probably like Suzuki is number 2, even if they are pretty slow. I do enjoy riding Suzukis in these motocross games. Now, if I do get a contract with the TLD KTM team, I'm not going to take it. Like I said, I'm going to try to work my way through the system. I'm going to spend the first season as a privateer and kind of get my feet wet in Supercross itself. And if we do good enough, and I kind of feel like it's if I'm worthy of a contract from one of these top teams, I will then sign. That's about it. I just got to get through this race, and then we can go to, it's east, so I believe the first race is in Minneapolis, if I can remember correctly. It's either Minneapolis or Arlington, because I believe Arlington's an east race in this game, which doesn't make much sense, but I guess there's a lot of West Coast tracks. It's a bunch of Oaklands and San Diego and Phoenix and Anaheim. I'm very much raw when it comes to this game. I really am not great quite yet. I've got a couple things to work on in terms of just being more smooth in the corners, which is something that I've noticed in this game compared to the first one, which is two years old now. But you really got to nail corners or you're not going to hit a rhythm section quickly. You can still kind of do the thing where you hit it as whoops, which is unfortunate, but I don't know if they're really going to change that. It's an arcade game, so you can only make it so difficult. You want to attract an audience, so I understand why it's not too unbelievably hard, but I mean, if you want to go fast, you really need to be able to like hit corners correctly and turn correctly. It's something I have not been good at this game so far, is being able to turn or hit a rhythm section, as you can see, as I just completely botch everything. I have seen a couple other career modes. I don't know if it rained in their opening race. I feel like it did. So maybe it is a rain race on these test tracks, which I think is really one of the cooler things in this game is the compound. The compound is awesome in this game. You have like 6 or 7 different real life test tracks for the 2019 season. So if you were, you have the KTM test track, the Kawasaki test track for the Pro Circuit and Monster Energy team. You have the Star Racing Yamaha, the TLD KTM, and the Red Bull KTM, and then you have the Husqvarna factory, Rockstar Husqvarna team test track, the Honda HRC, and the Geico Honda test tracks. And that's pretty cool. I kind of like the idea of maybe doing like a video where once if I get on one of those teams, maybe doing some off-season testing in those races between seasons, which would be kind of a cool idea. But that's a easy first win in the first race of the career. But it has always been on very easy for everyone else, so it's not that difficult. All right, so we finish first, and we get some contract offers. Now, these are the official teams. Now, I said I don't want to pick them. I'm not going to pick the Pro Circuit or the Troy Lee Designs team. I don't know which one I'll go with. Discount Tire KTM. I think we'll just say that that's the team. Discount Tire KTM. Hey, it looks pretty cool. Kind of like it. All right, let's edit the rider as well. That's the other thing I want to do is go through and edit what it looks like. Career options, race sessions. So I want to do the real thing, realistic. Now, I have played on realistic difficulty, and I suck. So I'm gonna go hard. Joint brakes off, manual rider, manual transmission, rewind off, flow aid off. Okay. And then we'll go in and we'll edit the rider a little bit. See what we can do. I have a little bit of credits, so I think I'm gonna go. I've always been a fan of Alpine Stars. I think we're gonna go with their stuff away. I like that one. So get that. I definitely want a different suit. The suit is very basic in this one. Well, that's cool. I got those stand-up lights that you can have. Ooh. Okay, we'll go with that one. I think the goggle, I already kind of like the goggles. Let's see what else we can get though. Maybe go Thor. You know what? I don't mind those goggles I have now, so we'll keep them. And then we'll see what kind of boots we can get. Let's go with these ones. Tech 7. And I think we're good for now. And yeah, we'll hop right in. So I'm only going to show highlights of the race weekends. I might do the full main event, but if there's some downtime and I'm just not speaking because I'm trying to focus, I'll probably cut that out. But I will show you my fastest lap that I get in qualifying. So I figured now that we're in practice, we can probably spark up a little bit of conversation in the comments. What do you guys, any of you Supercross fans that are in here, think of the season so far? We're what, 4 rounds in, 5 rounds in now? Or going to be, but when I upload this, it will be a couple more rounds in. As of right now, I think it's San Diego is this weekend. We just finished Oakland, or it's the other way around. I'm not quite sure. Tomac just won, and it was Tomac, Roxon, and then I can't remember who finished third on the podium. I think it was Anderson, maybe? So Anderson or... Nah, probably Anderson. But the season's been interesting so far. Roxon finally got a win. That's awesome. Love to see Roxon getting a win. Been a fan of his since he really has moved up to the 450s. Tomac gets an early season win, which is good for him because he seems to never get early season wins. It seems to be a struggle. He can turn it on at the end of the season and literally be unbeatable, but at the start of the season, he can't seem to get a win. So I think him winning early there is good for him in terms of his championship hopes. Jason Anderson and Cooper Webb have kind of been a little bit lackluster for the two previous champions in the sport. I don't want to say that they're bad, but when you're a guy who won the title last year and a guy who's 2 years removed from winning the title, you want to see a little bit better start from them. But I think it's kind of what everyone expected. I think everyone expected Tomac and Roczen to kind of be out front. I think the biggest surprise at everything, actually there's probably two. Adam Seensford has been talked up that he's probably going to be the next big thing, and he's had a good start to the season. He's got a little bit of consistency issues, but he's showing the speed to be up there with Tomac and Roczen. If he can just lay down consistent races, he'll probably be in this title hunt for a decent portion of the season. But one guy who's really surprised me is Justin Barcia. Won the opening event, finished second in Phoenix? I think it was Phoenix. And then in the top 5 in the first Triple Crown, or top 5, top 6 kind of, and then another top 10 the most previous round. And he's third in points, and he's doing good. I was interested, especially after the first round, if he could keep up in here and still be a title contender by the end of the season. But I mean, if he can get another win or a decent podium, he can just stay pace with the top 2 that are ahead of him right now in Tomac and Roczen. Why not? I mean, I think this could be Barcia's kind of like little run here as I completely lift that rhythm section, or that set of whoops. He's got Ferrandis breathing down his neck in terms of that spot on Yamaha, and Plessinger is kind of the other one there on that Monster Energy Yamaha team. Right, I'm going to try to hot lap here, hopefully put in a fast lap. And if it is when I'm not talking, then I'll just put this right afterwards. All right, and we are back. As you saw, I ran a 54.2, which is good enough for 10th, which is pretty solid. Only ran 9 laps, but I mean, that's not too crazy. But we're about a second off the pace, so I don't really expect much from this race in terms of winning. I do think that as long as I don't crash, I should be able to make the main event. It was something I was having trouble with. I raced a couple races on 450s realistic, and I did a couple of full weekends, and I just, for the life of me, every time I just couldn't stay up on the bike. You kind of get caught in the waves of the pack, which is something I noticed in this game where they have a lot of the guys bunch up outside of like the 2 leaders in like last place. The other thing I don't really like about this game is that you can kind of really easily time the gate drops. And you'll see it when it starts up, as you can tell. Like, it kind of gets darker, and it's much easier to see. So, like, that was a really easy gate drop to predict. I don't have the bike to stay on the lead, but, very easy gate drop. All right, so we got a heat race. 6 minutes plus a lap. Just got to ride my race and stay out of the AI's way. That's another thing I've noticed is that they're very bully-like. They will bully you out of the way if you're annoying them too much, it kind of seems. And if you get in the line that they're trying to run, that they will definitely hit you. And I've been knocked off a fair share of times when I've just been practicing the game a little bit when I first got it. It's a bad corner that I just took there. See, we're out into an early lead. And already I've kind of pulled a gap on them, although I haven't really made any mistakes yet, so I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen, because I know I will make a mistake. Especially like a bull corner like this, 180, I seem to just I can't hit him correctly yet. I don't know, it's just difficult for me. Good start nonetheless. Ooh, that was a bad corner. I don't know how I stayed on the bike there. I have all the settings turned on, so like I think it's like realistic rider movements or whatever it is, or not like it's no assist on it. So if you really do position your bike in an odd way going into a corner, you will definitely fall off. It's a good start though. Top 5 behind me. Martin Davalos, Chase Sexton, Kyle Peters. It's good to see him always doing well. I'm kind of in a favorite of mine for a little while. And then, okay, that was not what I meant to do. And Alex Martin's in 5th, so that's what I mean by mistakes. You'll see them happen very quickly. Compared to the previous milestone games, this definitely has, oh, there it is again. Definitely a different feel in terms of the way to move the bike. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like if you jump one way off a face of a jump, like you're not changing that direction. Like you could kind of do it in the older ones. You know, if you hit a jump wrong, you can kind of bring the bike back. Not happening here. If you've messed up the jump, good luck. You're in for the ride. Wherever it takes you, wherever you angled your bike, it's probably where you're going to go. I do like the whips, even if I don't really know how to do them quite yet. I do like them in this game. They're pretty solid. For now, I really am not good at them, so I will occasionally throw one, but most of the time I'm kind of almost don't want to, because I'm just expecting myself not to be able to bring it back as Davalos goes down and Sexton takes the lead of this first heat race, and Kyle Peters just jumped to my inside. Holy cow. Kicking off here, about 2 minutes left in the heat. Oh, and I don't turn. That's not right. Don't want to do that. Remember, kids, you always want to turn, especially when it's allowing you to. Covington hits me. That's another thing. You kind of get those moments where you kind of hit where you kind of gas it in a way and hit the corner, and then hit the jump, and you kind of just like jump left or right. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's just I'm not good at the game yet, so like I'm at fault there, or if that is like the game's physics, where if you just gas it, or even just hit the gas in a certain spot on a face of a jump, you just kind of wreck, or not wreck, but kind of just shoot your bike off in one direction. Probably my fault. I would assume the games are made by really good people, so I would assume that that's not something that's like a bug or something that's not intended for the game. That's just me being terrible at it. So I try to go past 2. They just pulled a crossover on me. Oh, that's not good. So you don't want to land the middle jump. So you can kind of still do the whoop thing you can do in 1 and 2, but not as much anymore. Something that I'm kind of like, because we're down to 11th, so I don't know if we're going to make this main event now. I don't know how I just ran through John Short, but I did. I'll take it. Oh, and I knocked half down. That's not what I meant to do. Got 24 seconds left, so we're going to have basically a lap to go when we come back. As I am now in the final transfer spot, as a rider did go down, and I didn't see who it was. Can't seem to hit that line. I know there's a way to seat bounce. Don't really know how to yet, though. Oh, Davalos went down, and I didn't turn. It was totally my fault, and then I hit into him. I've gotten decent at a couple of these corners, but not all of them. Like I said, that corner speed is huge in this game. It's something that I've really noticed early on, is that if you need to like carry speed in corners to hit certain jumps, you can't just kind of like take the inside all the time. It's not going to always work. It's the fastest liner on the track. So Bradley Taft's in 10th, and then Davalos holds the last transfer spot. I don't know if we're going to beat him to that. So he might be in the LCQ here, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of unexpected. I'm new to the game, and I get the inside on Taft, so I have a shot here. I'm not going to wreck anyone. I'm not that mean, and mean to the AI, because I know that they really will never defend it if you really want to. I can try to see if I can get here. Oh, I tried. Alright, 10th place. So LCQ we go. I even had the fastest lap. That's probably the first lap of the race, honestly. I was doing really well at those early laps. Alright, LCQ time. Here we go. Christian Craig in the LCQ. Terrible jump by myself. We're going to rail nail that corner. Don't hit a tough block. We don't. Get through that nice and clean. All right, so we got 4 minutes. I was good for the first 2 in the heat. Let's see if we can keep it going. Raulmi or Alves? I'm going to be honest, I have no idea who that is. Like, I kind of pay attention to 250 races. I don't know. 78? It's got to be someone who's raced before, so I just have never seen the name. Just, I guess, my own fault. But a decent start. Really only battling Alves here. Christian Craig and Robert Moody in 4th at the moment. I just let off for some reason, so I completely cased that. Terrible. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Made a mess of that rhythm section, and off I go. Oh, and then I get wrecked. I totally deserve that. Alright, well, got some work to do. Had a decent start, and then completely whiffed that back section after the finish line. See what I can do is another rider just gets taken out, basically. I don't know if that was myself that did that or someone else. Oh my god, Joan Cross with a dive bomb on the inside of me. That kind of scared me. I was expecting to go down there. Oh, and I did it again. There it is. Oh. Well, this might be unfortunate. I think we're in basically last at this point. Nope, 20th to 22nd, so not dead last, but not good. Back here with Bradley Taft, who finished 2nd, or the 2nd non-transfer in the heat race I was in, so he's not having a good race either. And then Aaron Hamilton just completely takes me out. That's awesome. Only got a minute left in this LCQ, and I don't think I'm making the main. Cannot seem to get away from Aaron Hamilton. He just wants to, I think he's like ghosting me. He's doing that thing you do in like online racing games where you just kind of like you pick a guy on online multiplayer and then try to wreck him for the entire race. It's what I feel like he's doing with me right now. 27 seconds to make something happen, and then plus 2 laps. I think I'll get 2 laps here, so that is at least good. Maybe I can make something happen. Doubtful, but we can try. Like I mentioned earlier, the pack kind of stays bunched up, as you can see, going over the finish line right there. So that's like 10 spots if I can just make a clean lap, although I don't know if that's actually possible. Like, outside of, like, if I get the lead, I might have a shot, but these AI, you really can't move them. And again, they just constantly run straight into me. Like, pick a line, and then I do that. Awesome. I will not restart, even if I don't qualify. I don't want to be real experience here. You're going to get to see as I go through. So, you know, come back and watch these after we get through a couple seasons maybe and be like, wow, he was that bad at the game. Like, he couldn't even qualify for a main event in the 250 series. Yeah, that's how bad I was at the game. As I just make a mess of that whoop section. Up to 18th, but again, not a lot of time left here. Got a lap to go. But again, I gotta get the top 4, so that's not happening. And I just can't turn. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's some magic to it, but I cannot turn. Try to pull back a decent finish here. Should have taken this guy out. We ain't winning this. I didn't even get the spot. Oh my god, that was terrible. Got some learning to do in this game. Alves, Miller, Lorenzo, and Craig all move through. I do not. Again, terrible. And I had a 40-second lap. I don't know how the heck I did that, but alright. Well, that's been episode 1. A little short. Hopefully we can, potentially move through and get to the main event next time. Or this is going to be a quick season. But thank you so much for watching. We will see you in episode number 2.